So let's go over these swarm traps that I make. Somebody asked me about what's inside of them. So this is the inside before I wax it. So this is unwaxed. I'll be heavily waxing the inside of this one. I need to throw that trash out. Not that the bees will care a whole lot, but I've seen them deal with a lot more trash than that. So these little bars you can get in the section of Home Depot or Lowe's where they sell baseboard, and they're just like a 1/4 of an inch thick and then about 1 1/4 inches wide. They normally come, I believe, in 12-foot lengths, and I cut them in half to be 2 6-foot lengths, so I can do 2 swarm traps off of one board. I use a 1-inch, what is it, paddle? Is it 1.5 inches? What does that say? Yeah, 1.5 inch paddle to drill the hole on the bottom. That's how I get that hole down there. And then the screws that I'm using are these number 830 by 32 thread 3/4 inch machine screws. They're made out of zinc. And then I have the prevent loosening from vibration nylon locking nuts, also in zinc. And the reason I chose zinc is because zinc won't rust. And they're fairly cheap. So I can build this whole bucket for about under $25 for the whole bucket. The bucket itself is $7. The entrance disc I get at RPB Works. I think it's $4 or I think it's $3. Even if it was $4. The washers, as you'll notice, I put some spacer washers. Those are AAA spacers underneath. And then I'm using, I know this says AJC, but generally I use AJB. Somebody must have just stuck an AJC in the AJB spot at Home Depot. And the only difference is the hole in the center. But I'm using AJB, and the reason for that is I want this to move freely, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a gap there because, you know, when you're moving the bees around, they're kind of pissed off. You want to be able to just shut that, or shut it like this, rather. No bees can get in and out. You still get ventilation. And now I can move it literally wherever I want. I've got the top sealed. If you want to go really bougie, for $1 each, you can buy 2 clips to clip the lid shut. But yeah, that's how I'm operating this swarm trap. This is just a different color than the gray one that I have out on my land. And then once again, I wax the inside super heavy. So that's how you build one, under 25 bucks. The most expensive piece is probably the bucket at $7. Well, the wood's about $7 worth of wood as well. So you got $14 there. We'll say $4 for the disc. So now we're at $18, and there is about $3 in screws. So we're like 21 bucks for the trap, plus whatever wax you put in there. If you have wax, then it doesn't cost you anything. If you got to buy wax, it can be kind of expensive. But I heavily wax the inside. And then, of course, you're going to use the frames. And the frames fit in there. You can fit almost 10, well, you can easily fit 8 frames in there. And maybe you can sometimes get 10, but it gets kind of close on that. So that's it.